Is drinking raw milk safe like RFK Jr. suggests? Can you reduce a glucose spike if you eat your food in, quote-unquote, the right order? I'm registered dietitian Abby Sharp. I host a nutrition myth-busting podcast called Bite Back with Abby Sharp. And those are just some of the questions I tackle with qualified experts on my show. There is so much food misinformation and disinformation out there, and it can feel impossible to know what's real and what's BS. On Bite Back, my goal is to help listeners create a pleasurable relationship with food, their body, and themselves, which in my opinion is the fundamental secret to good health. Listen to Bite Back wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms.
From the Kiss 92.5 studios in Toronto, Canada. Ladies and gentlemen,
this is Roz and Mocha.
It's Roz and Mocha. What's going on?
Hey guys, this is Bruno Mars.
Selena Gomez.
The Chainsmokers.
Lady Gaga.
Calvin Harris.
Celestia Cara. You're listening to my boys Roz and Mocha.
Roz and Mocha.
My boys Roz and Mocha.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Between Roz and Mocha, who is your favorite?
Mocha. Mocha. You guys are so funny, man.
Congratulations, Lisa! Wow! You just won $1,000.
That is amazing. Y'all just made my entire morning. Keep it up.
You guys are awesome, man. This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast. Hello, it's Roz and Mocha. Is this Austin?
Yes, it is.
Austin, how old are you, pal?
I'm 10.
And Austin is getting ready to wrap up the school year. What grade are you in?
I'm in grade 5.
How was grade 5 this year?
Pretty good.
Yeah. What was your favorite thing about grade 5 this year?
Gym.
What are you looking forward to most for grade 6?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
What are you looking forward to for your summer? What do you got going on?
Soccer camp.
Nice. All right, buddy. So 10-year-old Austin is here because why?
The news thing.
Okay. Austin wants to introduce the news.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Jeez.
As many people have reached out in the past, everyone is more than welcome to try their best to introduce the news. Have you been practicing, Austin?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so you know exactly what to do. We don't have to explain anything.
Yeah.
Okay, and why do you think your introducing of the news is at the level where it needs to be in order to compare to everybody else, more importantly, compared to what Roz does?
I don't think I could do it as good as Roz, but I definitely think I could do it at least pretty well because I practice a lot.
Okay, that's probably the best thing you could have said.
Yeah.
I take great offense to people who say they can do it as good as me. So now I'm I'm rooting for you, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for you.
You practice?
Yeah.
10-year-old Austin, anytime you're ready, bro.
Hey, Mocha.
Yeah.
You ready?
Uh-huh.
Let's do the news.
There we go. Austin, you are the best. Love you so much. Have a wicked, wicked summer, buddy.
You too.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
News break.
First day of summer kicks off tonight. It is the summer solstice, the longest day of the year. 10:42 p.m. Eastern is when it happens. This is the moment, I guess, when the Earth tilts most towards the sun, giving the people who live in the Northern Hemisphere the longest day and shortest night of the year. So after today, the days start getting shorter.
Oh, boom.
Wait, already?
Already. This is the longest, and then everything after that is starts getting shorter until we get to December. I think it's 21st is the winter solstice, which is the shortest day of the year. And we're in for a heat wave, especially in Ontario. Blistering heat, they say, is on its way. Environment Canada says between Sunday through Tuesday, 30 degrees above. It's going to feel like high 30s and low 40s with the humidex. Mocha.
Yeah.
Hottest place in the world right now in the last 24 hours.
India.
Hottest place in the world. Incorrect.
It's not in.
It's not India.
Egypt.
Okay. Incorrect. Keep going.
Dubai.
Incorrect. Keep going. You were close with India.
Bangladesh.
No, incorrect.
I don't know. Go ahead.
Pakistan. It's always Pakistan.
Oh, right, yeah.
48.5 degrees was the natural high with no humidity yesterday. Number 2 on the list. Go for number 2 real quick, Mocha.
Philippines.
Incorrect. United States.
No, are you serious?
Yes, somewhere in the United States.
Oh, Texas.
Incorrect.
It's not Texas?
No, Phoenix.
Oh, right.
Phoenix, 47.2, but it's a dry heat, they say.
Yeah, of course. Arizona.
Right? Yeah, so, and then Pakistan, Oman, Mexico, Algeria, Pakistan fills at the top 15.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Seth Rogen on with Jimmy Kimmel last night talking about auditions and whether he still has to, and thank God he doesn't have to anymore.
When is the last time you auditioned for something? Has it been a long time?
It has been a long time, and man, I honestly thank God it was mostly physical VHS tapes and stuff like that was being used when I was auditioning for things, because the things I auditioned for in retrospect, if they were out there in the world, would end my career very, very fast, I believe.
Give us one.
Well, there's a movie called Gigli.
Oh, yes. I'm familiar with it. Yeah.
That stars Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. Mm-hmm. And in the film, they're assassins or something like that. In Gigli, they're assassins who are sent to watch over a boy who... and this was not the words they used at the time, but had a cognitive disability, let's say.
Oh, no.
And so I was, as an aspiring young actor, I auditioned for this boy with a cognitive disability. And I don't think the script was written in what, by today's standards, would be the most sensitive portrayal of a boy with a cognitive disability. And I also, as a young actor, I didn't get a lot of auditions. The movie was directed by Martin Brest, who did Beverly Hills Cop and Midnight Run, a great director, so I wanted to leave an impression. I don't think I wore a helmet into the audition.
Oh my gosh!
Do you remember that character in Gigli?
No, I never watched it.
I think it was the brother. I think it was maybe J-Lo's brother, maybe something like that. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Because the actor who wound up getting it was also not
right. Yeah. That.
Cognitive. What did he say?
Cognitive disability.
Cognitive. He did not have that. Yes. We have time to play that other Seth Rogen clip. Let's play that other Seth Rogen clip. It's really good too. So we talked about this a little while ago, which is Seth Rogen showed up in Call of Duty. He's a playable character in Call of Duty, but the way his character works in Call of Duty is he's not very good. You die because Seth Rogen recoils because he's scared and he drops his gun, and when the gun hits the ground, it goes off and kills you. That's how his character is sort of played. But how did he wind up in Call of Duty?
You're living I think what would probably be a dream. You are part of the Call of Duty universe now.
I am.
You're in the game.
I'm in Call of Duty. You can now kill your friends as me.
As you.
It's amazing.
Did you pitch them on that, or did they pitch you?
They pitched me on it, I think, which was a real flattering thing to be. I love video games, and I grew up playing so many video games. So to now be in a video game is incredibly
exciting. We have you in the video game. Here you are.
Look out, I am Seth Rogen.
Oh, wow.
I've always loved video games, so much so that when we wrote Superbad, it was supposed to be representative of our high school experience. And so we had a scene where they're playing a Sony PlayStation, and Sony made the movie. It was a Sony movie, and so we thought it'd be easy to clear. And then after we sent the script to approve the use of the PlayStation, they said Jonah Hill's character is too despicable to be playing a Sony PlayStation.
Oh my God!
Which was insulting. The Jonah character is based on me.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Where are we here? Oh, Tinder has introduced Face Check, which requires users to complete a live video selfie to prove that they are not a bot or a scammer, because I guess that this is the new thing, especially with AI. That video also compares to uploaded pics to ensure that you're not using somebody else's image. A recent survey suggested more than half of people who have used online dating apps like Tinder have come across someone that was trying to scam them. In 2024, the dating app market generated an estimated, this is crazy, it's still making tons of money, $6.18 billion in revenue.
Wow.
And so many of them are like bots and fakes.
Really?
So many of them. Like the numbers are staggering as far as how many people on there who are not who they say, because it used to be on those apps that the people that were on there weren't honest in what they were looking for, right? Like that was maybe they were married, or maybe they just, they said they were looking for love when really they were looking for other things, right? That was the sort of worst that it got, was weeding through that web of lies.
And then they show up and they don't look like their picture.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and then you had Facetune and you had all of this stuff, but now it's just straight up AI and bots. Like it's the person, it's not even like an individual who is remotely resembling that person or looking for what that person says they're looking for. Like it's
scary,
completely
man.
fake. It's completely fake. Yeah, it's terrifying.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
The Edmonton Oilers had some media availability yesterday. Connor McDavid, and the big question is, what's his future look like? And is it, in fact, with Edmonton? And it probably would have been easier for him to leave Edmonton had he won a cup, because they would have that championship. But the way things are looking now, it's still sort of in the air, and he's never sounded more on the fence after a season, even after last year losing in the Stanley Cup final. So here's Connor McDavid.
Connor, respecting that, and you mentioned how much you got some things to think about, obviously, but what are those things? What do you want to kind of drill down on as you make a decision here on a contract extension and the thought of possibly staying here for a while?
Winning would be at the top of the list, and then winning would be it's the most important thing. If I feel that there's a good window to win here over and over again, then signing is no problem. I again, it's only been a couple of days. I'm sure we'll get into it over the course of the next couple of weeks. But again, I'm not in a rush to make any decision, so I don't think that there needs to be any timeline. I know people are going to look at that July 1 day and be looking to see if there's anything done. But for me, there's no. I'm just not in a rush that way. So.
Oh, he's gone.
Fam, just go to Florida. They win titles.
That's far from the I want to win and I want to win here.
He
Right?
just gave the reason for why he would leave.
Yeah.
Winning.
Yeah. Damn. Corey Perry, who, what a stat this is. I mean, he does have a cup. He won in 2007, but Corey Perry has lost in 5 of the last 6 Stanley Cup finals with, I think, 4 different teams, which is an incredible stat.
We clap for that?
Yeah, I think we should.
I don't know.
I don't know if I will clap for that.
Here's Corey Perry.
Corey, going to that many Stanley Cup finals and losing. When you look back at that, is that devastating, or is that are you glad for that experience? How does a player view that?
Yeah, it's devastating. I mean,
what do you want to say?
5 of the last 6, it doesn't get any easier. It just it doesn't feel real, but you get ready and you move on, and I mean, you get ready for next season. Hopefully, you have that opportunity again.
look back 10 years from now and say that was pretty cool to get there that many times and be a part of it?
Well, yeah, maybe in 10 years when I look back, whenever I'm done playing.
That's pretty cool.
Yo, way to kick the man while he's down.
And
I don't think anyone would say that.
I know that a lot of Leaf fans were hoping that the Leafs would make a move for either Sam Bennett or Brad Marchand. But if you look at Brad's posts from Florida the last couple of days, he's not going anywhere. And
he wouldn't come here.
And also Sam Bennett was on stage at a bar last night where fans were chanting like 6 more years, 6 more years. And then he quieted the crowd down and he just grabbed the mic and said that he's not effing going anywhere. So that's what he said, whether the agents and the teams and everything else can work it all out. But he definitely wants to stay in Florida.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Researchers have just confirmed what is certainly the largest data breach ever. But there's a sort of twist with this, with an almost ridiculous 16 billion login credentials, including passwords, everything exposed. This is part of an ongoing investigation that started at the beginning of the year. So we're talking all the big companies, Google, Meta, everything, right?
Okay.
16 billion user credentials. And it was leaked, probably the work of multiple info seekers, which are the things that get all your data. These collections of login credentials and database were stuffed full of compromised passwords. It is the largest such leak in history. But to be clear, and this is where things sort of may not be as bad as the headlines make it seem, which is that this is not new data or a new breach. So, and the websites involved were not recently compromised. It all appears to be a compilation of previously leaked credentials stolen by info stealers. These stolen credentials were likely circulated for some time online, maybe even for years, and then somebody collected them all, whether it was researchers, baddies, or cybersecurity, and they put them all into one sort of database. So this information has been out there for a while. So this big thing where it's like 16 billion Apple, Facebook, and Google passwords leaked, it's not like it just happened.
So I do have to change my password?
You should change your password because it's probably out there, but it's not a new leak, right?
Okay.
And so what they say, again, what can you do? Mocha just asked that question. They say use a strong password for every site you use and rely on password managers to keep you organized and secure. However, and this is where the big however is, even if you do use the hardest, you click that button and it says give you the hardest password imaginable. That does not matter if you're hacked. Right? Or if you click on a phishing thing, or if you install malware. As soon as you do any of those things, they get full access to anything.
Great.
Right?
What about Face ID?
It's what do you mean?
Like if you have it set up for double authentication or whatever like that, does that help?
Well, what's your first authentication?
Your face.
Yeah,
What's
but
the second one?
it's not somebody stealing your phone.
Oh,
yeah, like it's like if you're logging into Instagram,
right? Yeah, it's you clicking on something and then installing that. That's where they get you. And then yes, Maury, they would have your face.
Wait, what?
This beautiful thing? This beautiful young thing?
Yes, that beautiful young face.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Before we wrap up here, I got to send a picture to the group chat. This is Sharon Stone at 67 for a photo shoot that she did for Vogue in Europe. And she, like, the pictures are, first of all, amazing.
God, I gotta leave.
67, wearing a sheer gown.
Dang.
Right? Sheer gown. Let me read you. There's one shot where she's wearing a jumpsuit and she's sitting in a chair. She's surrounded by like 30 dudes and her legs are sort of spread open, right?
Oh.
So let me read you this headline. This is the best thing. Draped in men. Sharon appears to be emulating her classic pose from Basic Instinct with her legs wide open as she watches the men break dance. Is there a better term than draped in men?
I don't think so. I think Maury's dreaming of that, to be honest with you.
Draped in men. Anyway, Sharon Stone, 67, looks amazing. Fire.
Also, Sharon, stop breathing.
I know.
Get a CPAP.
Put the mask on.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Keith Urban, man, Toronto's rep is that the city is just unmanageable when it comes to traffic. How many times have we seen an artist who walked
Harry
to their
Styles?
own
Was it
show?
Harry Styles?
No, it was
Niall
Horan.
And then the Carolina Hurricanes?
Carolina Hurricanes had to walk to their game. Keith Urban did a show in Toronto over the weekend. He had this to say on stage.
First of all, thank you for traveling whatever distance every one of you did to make it here to the concert tonight. Thank you. With the construction going on, you could live 10 minutes away and it took an hour to get here. So thank you.
Crikey.
Yeah, I broke a new record the other day.
For?
Or maybe I tied my record.
Sitting on the can?
No. It was, I had to go pick up my kid, and it was 35 minutes to go 2 kilometers.
Oh, shoot.
No.
There and back.
No, thanks.
Yeah.
That'd be so
35 minutes to do 2.5 kilometers.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
You've made it when you're on a big show, and there's things that happen all the time. Like a late night show makes a joke about you. You get parodied on Saturday Night Live, and then they just keep going and going. These sort of benchmarks where you've really made it and your show has hit all the right notes. Patrick Schwarzenegger from White Lotus was doing an interview, and he hit another one of those milestones. They got late night. They got SNL. Now it's this.
I've had some really weird experiences the past 10, 12 weeks with White Lotus coming out, of people coming up to me saying all sorts of crazy stuff. I had someone last week, I'm not making this up, I was at the gym with 2 of my friends and we're working out on the machine, and he came up to me and he said, I loved your work in White Lotus, and I had to come up to you because my boyfriend just booked playing Saxon Ratliff in The Tight Lotus.
Oh my God.
What?
And I said, oh, what is that? And he was like, it's Tight Lotus. It's a new porno coming out. And I said, excuse me? And he goes, yeah, he's playing you. He's depicting you. And I was like, oh my gosh.
When you get the porn parody, right? That's another one of those levels. Just keep going and going and going.
Sheldon was talking about that the other day, right?
Yeah.
By the way, this one's not out yet.
It's not. Okay.
Maury checked.
We'll look for that.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Doug Ford, we tried to get Doug on the phone last week. I don't know what was it for. What was going on where he was
talking about the people who tried to steal his car.
Oh, right. That's right. When the thugs showed up to take his car. We tried
about these guys.
We tried to get him on because Doug's thing was always that if you called him, he'd answer, right?
Yeah.
Like that was the wild thing about Doug Ford is that
him and his brother,
they just gave their cell phones.
Amazing.
They just gave their cell phone numbers out, and I guess that's now a whole. He's in a different stratosphere as premier as opposed to a city councilor. So here is Doug Ford addressing that.
The last thing I got to say, this is just personal, guys. On this cell phone, I can't keep up. I can't keep up. It's like drinking from a fire hose. I appreciate the calls, but it's close to 1,000 a day. It's hundreds and hundreds, and then people get ticked off and say you aren't responding. I can't keep up with my cell phone. So,
change your number, maybe?
Well, I'm going to give him yours.
No, Mr. Popular.
And when we did try call Doug Ford, he did call Maury back. Left Murray a message.
Hi, Murray. Doug Ford calling. Sorry, my friend. I'm literally getting 1,000 messages a day, and I'm 5,000 behind. Sorry for the delay there. Feel free to give me a call. Thanks so much.
My friend.
Wait, feel free to give me a call, but you're not. You're behind. Also,
guys like you are great guys, Maury.
Say whatever you want about Doug Ford, right? But when he calls you my friend, like that famous line, my friend, it makes you feel good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
right?
Sure. Yeah.
Guys like you are great guys, Maury.
When you get the my friend from Doug Ford personally.
Hi, Murray. Doug Ford calling. Sorry, my friend.
I'll also call you Murray.
Hi, Murray. Doug Ford calling. Sorry, my friend.
It sounds exhausted, eh?
I know. It was so hot, too.
I know.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
OKC beating Indiana in a Game 7 to claim their first NBA title.
The Thunder have taken the NBA by storm. For the first time, the NBA champion resides in Oklahoma City. The storybook season is complete.
Good for them.
And we'll get to Kristen Chenoweth in a minute here, but I got to talk a whole lot about Shea. Is it Gilgeous?
Yeah.
Gilgeous Alexander. Where's that guy from?
Hamilton,
Hamilton,
Ontario.
Are you even kidding me? capped off one of the NBA's most successful individual seasons and was awarded with the MVP, the Finals MVP, and the scoring title for the year. Here is Shea.
It's a real short list of guys who've won MVP and Finals MVP in the same season. Yeah, the scoring title in there, that list gets even shorter. Now that you guys have crossed the finish line, are you able to wrap your head around that historic company that you've joined?
Yeah, it's hard to believe that I'm part of that group. It's hard to even fathom that I'm that type of basketball player sometimes. As a kid, you dream, and every kid dreams, but you don't ever really know if it's going to come true. And I'm just glad and happy that my dreams have been able to come true, and that's a thank you to everyone that's been in my corner that's helped me get here. I wouldn't be able to done without them. They know exactly who they are. So, yeah, it's a win for the family.
Let me read you this list that he's on when we're talking about this. So it's MVP, Finals MVP, and scoring. Wilt Chamberlain, Steph Curry, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant, Shaq, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Shea, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Here's the interesting stat in all of this. The only player who did it at a younger age than Shea did was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh, my God.
He did it younger than LeBron, Jordan, Shaq, Durant, Kobe, Curry, and Chamberlain.
Wow.
26 years old. Steph Curry didn't hit that until he was 33.
He's going to be one of the greats.
LeBron James, 27. Michael Jordan, 27. Shaq, 27. Kevin Durant, 28. Kobe, 30. Wilt Chamberlain, 35. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did it at 23, though.
Oh,
right.
Nuts,
I mean,
man.
let's not.
Legend.
Let's not forget about that. But before the game started, Kristen Chenoweth, who I think we all love Kristen Chenoweth.
Broadway legend. Wonderful.
I think everybody loves Kristen Chenoweth.
Broadway legend.
Thank you. She came out to do the national anthem, and there's a fine line when you are a powerful singer. And especially with somebody like Kristen Chenoweth, where sometimes you can go a little too Broadway, and in her case, like a little too fairy almost. Does that make sense? Like a little too
like playful,
a little too
theatrical,
a little too
so
theatrical.
Too wicked.
Yeah,
a little too theatrical.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
Sounds good so far.
So far, so good.
What so
right?
proudly we hailed
God, that's high.
at the twilight's last gleaming, whose
So far, so good. It's very high, very theatrical.
Through the perilous fire.
Right? Not bad.
O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
Okay.
Beautiful voice.
Yeah.
And the rocket's red glare, the bombs
Okay.
bursting
Yeah. Wait for it, though. Wait for it.
gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
Right?
Well, I got goosebumps.
Almost
This is
there.
good.
Almost.
Oh, say
Almost.
does that star-spangled banner yet wave?
What's wrong with this, guys?
Oh, just wait. Just wait.
Oh, okay. Yo, chill, Kristen. Wow.
Incredible.
Yeah, but she's amazing.
Yo, I don't know, guys.
It
I'd
should
pick that up any
It
day.
shouldn't be that hard to listen to.
No, it was.
It's not hard. She gave people what they wanted.
She went up one note too many.
Wait,
that's what happened.
Yeah,
think so?
it was
Yes.
too. That was,
No, I
and I
disagree.
love Kristen Chenoweth, but that was the worst, best anthem I've ever heard.
No way.
Couldn't
I
agree
disagree
more.
with you
Yeah.
guys. This is wonderful.
Here's where she should have ended it off. Stop there. Nope, don't go there.
Nope,
Oh,
nope.
man.
No, this is great. I love it.
Oh no.
Yo, show off that range, girl.
No, too hard to listen to.
Yeah, but she's a Broadway singer,
Yeah,
so I think
That's
you
her.
were expecting that from her.
This is her lane. Listen.
I get it.
She said to somebody, "Hold my beer. Watch this."
No.
She was almost there.
She almost had it.
Yeah.
And then she went too far.
You guys would be saying something different if we were the 51st.
Too far. You think so? Yeah. Anyway, that was Kirsten Chenoweth. We love her, but
Absolutely.
that was,
She killed it.
in my opinion, the worst best anthem I think I've ever heard.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms.
Heatwave today. It's going to be hot. We cannot say this enough. Find a cool place if you can. Check on your old people. Make sure your dog's not hanging out outside. For God's sakes, don't leave anything in a car. Whether it's if absolutely no children, no pets. Don't leave any vinyl records in your car. Right?
Vinyl records, dude?
What?
Why would somebody be driving around today with vinyl records?
I don't know. You never ruin a vinyl. You never ruin a record in a hot car?
No.
Really?
We're in 2025.
A vinyl record, sir?
Yes.
Where's somebody going with a vinyl record today?
I don't know. Maybe
you bought it at Sonic Boom and you're bringing it home.
Maybe to a friend's. Maybe
to listen to records.
Yes. People still do that.
Bro, I don't know.
I have billions of songs available on my phone.
Yeah.
That I could listen to from any and every era.
Maybe you're bringing records to a friend's to listen to. Right? Maybe.
Why can't I just Bluetooth my phone to their speaker?
I don't know. I'm just saying. Okay, this kind of heat will ruin a record.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm not wrong.
Your public service announcement
I'm
brought
not,
to you
I'm not,
by the
I'm
1930s.
I'm not third. Please.
Sorry, 40s.
Shut up.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Has your Netflix interface changed yet?
No, why?
It will.
Why?
So Netflix, remember I talked about this months ago, and it didn't affect anybody. They were beta testing it, and I was the one, I guess, one of the accounts where they were beta testing it.
Okay.
So the interface that Netflix has had, the way Netflix looks when you go to it, it's been the same for 12 years. It hasn't changed. Everybody sort of copied Netflix because it was so user-friendly and everything else. But for users now, they started on LG Smart TVs, Samsung Fire Sticks as well. The new homepage features program thumbnails and icons that are much larger. So when I normally, and I think everybody else, when you would look at your Netflix homepage on your screen, you would usually get 4 rows of 6 titles, right? So on your page, you could see 24 different titles. Okay. Now you get 4.
Let's see.
4 on your screen.
Still not working on mine.
So you get 4.
Okay.
At a time. So your whole screen, they're huge.
But why do they do that?
Because they say, although everybody's freaking out about it, trying to figure out how to reverse it, they say, according to their research, that it tested very well, and this is going to be the new thing, because what they want to do is give you, instead of more options, they want to give you more information. So what you have when you look at your screen is you have one big giant box, and then off to the right of that, you have 3 little ones. And if you scroll, the next one becomes big.
Oh,
The next
okay.
one becomes big.
Oh.
But so you can't just like look at your screen anymore and see like 24 different titles to be like, oh, bottom left, what's that? That looks cool. Right now what you see is 4. You get one
so
big
you have to
giant
highlight
thing,
a smaller box in order for it to
but you
give
only
you the information.
you get one big box and then 3 little ones at a time on every row.
I don't know if I like that.
And then you got to
I
scroll
guess I
down
get
to
used
get the
to it.
next row, into the next row, to the next row. So
How long
anyway,
did it take for you to get used to it?
I don't think I will ever get used to it.
Oh, damn.
I don't like that,
To be honest with you, but everybody's getting it. That's going to be the new thing, so it will eventually happen.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I got to play you this clip. This was said to be the equivalent of an adult calling your teacher mom by mistake. Remember when you used to do that when you were a kid? You ever call your teacher mom by mistake? Oh,
no.
It's so embarrassing.
Yo, you remember our boss Julie here?
Yeah.
She's in the docuseries History of Roz and Mocha.
Yeah.
I called her mom once.
Did you?
Yeah.
So I got to
So
play this
embarrassing.
clip of a Colorado lawyer.
How does that happen?
So this is a lawyer arguing a case where he accidentally calls the judge honey.
This could have been 3 separate.
Okay, but it wasn't 3 separate.
I know,
Let's go
but-
with what happened in the case.
But honey, oh my God, I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
That I don't know what to say to that. I apologize.
Go ahead.
Bro, you're shook.
The question here. I'm sorry. I've just been totally thrown by.
Yeah, I
my
can
mistake.
imagine. I'm a little thrown by that also, if I'm being honest.
Your Honor, I don't know what to say.
Well, go ahead. You've only got a minute and 7 seconds left.
And
you just lost that case, bro.
You know this guy argued with his wife a lot, right? Like that was totally. He was only seeing his wife in that moment.
It didn't feel like a honey, like a sort of disparaging sort of way.
No,
it sounded like he was talking to his partner.
This could have been 3 separate.
Okay, but it wasn't 3 separate.
I know,
Let's go
but-
with what happened in the case.
But honey, oh my God, I'm sorry.
Imagine being his client.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. This was not for like some traffic stop. This happened while he was arguing whether or not a violent sexual assault counts as one act or can be broken up into multiple acts. Like this is a serious case.
Like I said, imagine being his client.
Yeah. Right?
Oh my God.
And that's just muscle memory. That's just him talking to his wife. Right? Like he wasn't, I'm with you, Shem. He wasn't being disparaging.
No.
He wasn't trying to talk down. He wasn't being chauvinistic.
Yeah.
He was back in the living room with his wife.
This could have been 3 separate.
Okay, but it wasn't 3 separate.
I
Let's
know,
go
but-
with what happened in the case.
But honey, oh my God, I'm sorry.
Or his daughter or something like that,
Something,
you know?
yes.
Oh, even
Yes.
No, I never this. I like I said.
Have you ever done that?
No,
I've heard Matthew during an argument with his boss say, Maury.
Because again, muscle memory.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Somebody's frustrating you, muscle memory.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So, color psychology, they say, is the study of how different colors can affect your mood and behavior. This is not a real science, but it's not going to stop us.
Okay.
According to one color psychology expert, Mocha, one color stands out above them all when it comes to what you can wear, especially if you are too stressed, it will calm you down. If you are down in the dumps, it will lift you up. Mocha, what color is that?
Blue.
Incorrect.
Yellow.
Incorrect.
Green?
Yes. Green. They say green is
thought
the
blue would be
psychological primary color that balances the other 3, red, yellow, and blue. Green tends to be soothing, so wearing green can make you feel more relaxed and less anxious.
Nah, blue. Blue.
Does anybody here wear a lot of green?
I'm wearing green right now, Roz.
What are you wearing that's green?
This shirt.
That's black,
That's blue.
isn't it? Blue?
I know. I was just trying to make fun of. I know. That's.
Oh, yeah. You could have told me that was green.
That's why I did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I
Oh, you're
wouldn't
making
know.
fun of the guy? That's so mean, bro. Why would you even do that?
Look at him laughing. Whatever, my kid does it. But yes, green is the color. Nobody here wears a lot of green, though, right?
No.
Nah.
I have a couple of green items, but like nothing to the point where like I'm wearing it all the time. I wear blue a lot.
Yeah, I have green down below, but nothing up top. Right? Like I got like
Sorry,
green, like
checked out.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ! No, I have like green pants, like army green.
You should
kinda
clarify
thing.
that next time.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
You okay?
Everybody, shut up.
Just checking.
Jesus, honey. But nothing up top though. I don't have. My wife wears a ton of green. She was head to toe in green yesterday with a green hat.
Oh, monochromatic.
Yeah, but no, I don't wear a lot of green. I don't think anybody in here wears a lot of green.
I have like 2 green T-shirts and a green hoodie.
That's it,
about
though.
it.
Yeah.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I got to play this clip of Luke Bryan. We've seen and heard a lot of artists who lose their voice during a show and can't go on. And this was incredible because it's the moment Luke Bryan tells the crowd, because you can barely even talk, that they're all going to get refunds for one. But then here's the kind of baller part, which is he didn't stop the show.
Wait, what?
Listen.
This is the weirdest thing I've ever dealt with in my life. I cannot have my voice in this venue for some reason. So I don't give a damn. I'm going to refund everybody their tickets tonight.
Wow, good for him.
And we're going to keep doing the damn show, okay?
Wow. So he's like, listen, the show is going to be subpar. I'm not going to sound like me. You're going to get all your money back, but we're still going to do it.
You know what? I respect that.
Yeah, he gave the heads up.
Who has ever done that before?
Nobody.
Right?
They've canceled shows.
Yes.
Yeah, all the time.
Good for you, Luke Bryan.
But yeah, there you go. Luke Bryan doing the good thing, man.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
79-year-old Cobra Kai villain Martin Kove. He played John Kreese.
Oh, yeah.
In Karate Kid and Cobra Kai. I guess he was asked to leave a fan convention on Sunday because he bit his co-star, Alicia Hannah Kim.
What?
She was in season 5 and 6 of Cobra Kai. So
on purpose?
Yeah. So it happened at SummerCon, like a fan event.
Yeah.
And Alicia told officers who were working the VIP section that she walked up to Martin Kove, tapped him on the shoulder to say hello, and then he suddenly grabbed her arm and bit her, quote, so hard that he nearly drew blood.
Oh, my God.
The report states that when she cried out in pain, Martin Kove allegedly then started kissing her arm where he had bitten her. The report detailed that Alicia then told her husband who was there, and then they went up to Martin Kove after the bite. And the report says that when they approached him, he exploded on them, saying something to the effect of, how dare you confront me? According to the report, Martin Kove claimed that he was just trying to be, quote, funny, adding that they play fight all the time on set of Cobra Kai. Alicia reportedly told the officers she didn't want to press charges, but she wanted to give a report filed in case this continues, just to sort of get it on paper. I hung out with that dude for 2 days in Mexico.
And?
He's nuts.
Did he bite you?
No, he's nuts, though.
Is he John Kreese for real?
Yeah, he's nuts.
But also, why are you biting people?
Yeah, because guys
Does he think he's a snake or something?
No, guys
strike hard, strike first. Cobra Kai.
Guys think that's flirty, like.
I'm sorry, a man biting you, that's flirting?
I know.
Oh my God.
I'm not saying it's right.
You can get a punch to the face if you.
But they're
especially if he drew blood.
Oh, he didn't. It's a weird thing to say. Nearly drew blood, so you didn't bleed, but it did apparently leave a bruise.
Even still.
So, but he's one of those actors where, because that movie was so legendary, Karate Kid, right?
Yeah.
Like when you talk to Martin Kove, like Martin Kove walks into a room and treats people and everything else like he's George Clooney. You need to treat him like he's George Clooney.
Bro, but in every single movie, you took a L, hard.
Yeah, but he's that level of star in his own head.
Yeah.
Right?
Like
he's that
You're not that guy, bro.
He's a wild one, though. Super ego, just crazy.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I got to play this clip of Margaret Cho. You a fan of Margaret Cho, Maury?
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Yeah?
I find her very funny.
So, I guess she has a long history with Ellen, because...
dating?
No,
like growing up in the stand-up world.
Yeah, they were both doing stand-up. They both came up at the same time. Mm-hmm. But now that Ellen's sort of perfect bubble has been burst, every now and then you get one of these people who knew Ellen for a very long time coming out to talk about how they really felt about Ellen. Mm-hmm. And so here's Margaret Cho.
Ellen is it's so weird now. Like her public perception of her is more true to, I think she's mean. She was like a mean girl.
Wow.
Kind of like, but also she would be real nice. I think she always had like kind of negative feelings towards me because her girlfriends and wives always liked me. There's a kind of woman that loves a female comic.
Yes.
So I think that there was always that suspicion with us. But Ellen was like really weird and not nice to me for most of my career, and like because I opened for her in the 1980s.
Oh, you did?
When she was a headliner in comedy clubs, and not way before her big fame. And so then when I would do her talk show in the 2000s, she acted like we just met.
Oh,
like that's weird. So creepy and weird.
Yo, Ellen tricked everyone. She had me, huh?
I thought she was like the nicest woman.
Same. I used to watch that show. I'd be like, yo, Ellen is so nice. She treats people well.
No.
She's nice to the fans. She does things to help other people out. And like, man, then when those stories came out, I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it.
I used to get people like being mad at me because the only thing I heard from all those years working at AT Canada, the only thing I heard from anyone was just how awful she was to people. And I had no problem because I wasn't really a huge Ellen fan. But so I would just tell people, well, it's not what I heard. I heard she's awful. Like she's the devil, right?
Yeah.
And people would get mad at you.
Yeah. Because
like,
Ellen
for saying that.
so long
like,
was protected.
Yes.
But
Like
she was
people,
also like in Nemo and like
Dory, the voice of Dory.
Yeah, I don't know who that interviewer is that was talking to her though, but Kelly Mantle. That's the Kelly Mantle show. The reactions are spectacular.
Yeah. Oh my god!
Oh,
really?
What is it, Maureen?
I was going to say, I remember going on a studio tour where her set is, and I asked in the gift shop, I'm like, have you ever met Ellen? Like, has Ellen ever came by? And the person behind the counter was like, absolutely not. And the one time she did, she was awful and mean to us.
Oh, my God.
The staff at the gift shop.
Bro, my heart would break if a story like this ever came out about Jennifer Hudson or Drew Barrymore or Kelly Clarkson, because their shows are great.
Jennifer Hudson.
And the people, the guests always have so much fun on their shows.
Kelly Clarkson is very nice.
She's very nice. Yeah. And I don't think people say bad things about Drew. I haven't heard really anything about Jennifer Hudson. I think she's just low-key awesome. Like, I don't.
Yeah, she is.
She's not really in that world where people start talking a lot of trash about Jennifer Hudson.
You can't say nothing bad about her.
Yeah. I mean, I could make it up, right?
Well, don't do that.
I won't. Right? You know, it's usually that easy. Right?
Don't. I'll throw hands for J-Hub.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
A lot of the New World Order conspiracy theorists have come out in the last 24 hours, ever since Mark Carney made his big deal with the European Union. NWO, Mocha. NWO.
This is a wrestling theme song, by the way, Maria. You look confused. You're like, what? I don't understand what this is.
I have no idea.
Amid Trump's strained relationships with Canada and his former, I guess, still somewhat European allies, the European Union and Canada together vow now to support more support for Ukraine and a joint sort of like work on the climate crisis. And Carney was addressing the media yesterday after this big meeting with the EU, and this is where he sort of mumbles the words New World Order. Listen to this.
Go get her, What is he doing? God! Is he the third man? He's the third man! What the hell is going on here? Hulk Hogan has betrayed WCW! Well, the first thing you gotta realize, brother, is this right here is the future of wrestling. You can call this the New World Order of Wrestling, brother.
Wow. Carney had all that to say, huh?
Yep. So here's Mark Carney.
All right.
A world that's more dangerous and divided. A time where the rules-based international, the global order, rules-based global order is under threat, in a time when technological change is accelerating. And we really have two choices as a jurisdiction, as a country in this circumstance. We can nostalgically look back and long for the old order to somehow return, or we can build a new one with purpose and partnership. And as the most European of the non-European countries, Canada looks first to the European Union. And so today, this is a new era of cooperation.
Yo, he basically said the same thing that Hogan did.
Yeah. He's got to stop saying the most European country the most non-European country of the European countries. Do you feel European? Do you feel French?
No.
He's got to stop saying that. But anyway, so all the NWO conspiracy theories came out. The sort of New World Order conspiracy theory is sort of like this globalist, socialist, tyrannical cabal that already controls most of the world.
Yeah.
It's like a climate first agenda, death of farming, digital ID, population control, you'll own nothing and be happy kind of thing.
That's
right?
exactly what NWO and wrestling was.
That's exactly what
they
NWO
were the bullies.
is.
They were the bullies that came in and just took over.
Thank you.
And if you weren't with them, you were against them.
Thank you.
That's why they had like so many people ended up joining because they just kept getting their asses whooped.
Yeah.
So you had to join the crew.
But he's getting jumped on because this is pretty far from the elbows.
He's like
up
Hogan. He
platform
joined the Outsiders
that he ran on. Yeah. The betrayal.
How could you do that, sir?
Carney's the third man. Who knew?
I'm confused.
Who knew?
Don't worry, Maria. I'll send you
I'll
send you a YouTube link that describes the whole thing.
Carney is the third man.
What man?
Don't worry about it.
Is this more of your?
If you don't know, you don't know.
All
Okay.
right, well, if I'm not with
Yo
them, I'm
ass
against
better
them.
call somebody. Another wrestling thing. I wasn't trying to be rude. I'll send you another YouTube link.
Thanks.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
But Don Cherry is, I guess, hanging everything up now. So no more television as we know. That happened years ago. But now the Grapevine podcast is coming to an end. Don Cherry, 91 years old, does the show with his son.
Oh, I love that.
And after a few hundred episodes, it's time to say goodbye. So here is Don Cherry for one final time.
Well, Tim, this is our last show.
Yep. How many podcasts have we done?
I don't know.
This is our 313th.
313th.
Yeah, we've been listened to all around the world. It's just amazing how many different countries, people download and listen to it. We've had 6.5 million downloads, which is pretty good. So
how many?
6.5 million downloads.
That's an awful lot. Thanks everybody for listening, and toodaloo.
Oh, does this one get you, Maury?
Sounds so old.
Yeah, 91. Yeah.
What a life.
91. So I guess that's it. That's the sort of last public kind of stuff we'll hear from Don Cherry.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Brad Pitt doing a bunch of media that you never see Brad Pitt doing. So he's doing like a few podcasts.
Well, because the F1 movie.
Well, no, but he
F1's
never.
coming
I know,
out.
but when does he ever do these? Though,
I know.
right?
It's a huge movie.
Yeah. He doesn't do these. But he was on with Dax Shepard on Armchair Expert, and I guess that Dax Shepard and Brad were in AA together at one point. And this is really the first time with words, and I think he's talked about it at GQ and this kind of thing, but like during an interview where Brad talks about being in AA and what brought him there. And this was very soon after the famous airplane altercation with Angelina Jolie and the family, where he was accused of drinking too much and then apparently got violent, although the FBI looked at it and said that nothing actually happened and no charges were laid. But this is Brad talking about what AA was like that first time.
It was a men's group. Yeah. It was AA. It was when I first was getting sober. And I just thought there was just incredible men sharing.
Yes.
Their experiences, their foibles, their missteps, their wants, their aches, and a lot of humor with it. And I thought it was a really special experience coming from the Ozarks, where we're like, everything's great. Yeah. And so I do this interview, and I say this, and I got admonished by someone of the higher ups.
Oh, you
did? It's anonymous. I went, but no, But
how does that help anyone?
Not
though?
for you. That's what I said.
Yeah.
So the thing about AA, anybody who's never been to an AA meeting before, is that you don't have to share, but it's encouraged, and then eventually everybody does, where you sort of tell a story, right? You tell your story of, where you are today, what got you to this place, anything that's on your mind. And it's like an open place, and it is anonymous. And a lot of people are very hesitant to share their first time, and then eventually it comes around. So this is what Brad's feelings were towards sharing.
I was I was pretty much on my back. Yeah. On my knees. And I was really I was trying anything and anything anyone threw at me. It was a particular difficult time. I needed rebooting. I needed to wake the up in some areas. And it just meant a lot to me. So yeah, the first is, oh my God, it's coming around. It's coming around. It's getting closer. It's going to be yours.
Yeah.
But everyone was so open.
It's contagious, right?
It is. It gives you permission in a way to go, okay, I'm going to step out on this edge and see what happens. And then I really, I just really grew to love it.
There you go. It's really good.
Yeah, that really is the most open.
I've
we've
never heard him
Brad
talk openly about this stuff before.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Barbara Streisand. So they're doing a Meet the Parents 4, right? Meh. Did anybody really ask for this? So Ben Stiller's back, De Niro's back, Owen Wilson's back, and Gaylord Fokker is back. Ariana Grande they've added to the cast. But right now, the holdout is Barbara Streisand, because Barbara Streisand played
Ben Stiller's
mom, Roz Fokker. And so I guess she said that she won't be back because of what she was paid the first time around. She goes, oh, my God, they have to pay me a lot of money because I got paid. I didn't get paid what the other people got paid, and I'm pissed off. Wow. She goes on to say, it was in a time when women were getting paid less than men. The head of Universal was Ryan Meyer at the time, and he actually sent me a bonus check. It was pretty sweet. But no, she's holding out for more money because, according to a report in 2011, she made $7 million for Little Fockers. While Ben and Robert made 20. They're the stars of the movie. They're the stars of the movie.
Yeah, but she's awesome.
Yeah, but she wasn't the star of the movie. This is where it gets interesting. Dustin Hoffman, who really shares the same amount of screen time, made 7.5. So she should be making what Hoffman is making.
Yeah.
So
she'll get the money.
The difference of $500,000, but you're not going to make what De Niro's making for everything he does in those movies.
Also, quick FYI. Out in the streets, people call you what her character name is.
Which is what?
Read it again.
Roz Fokker? Yeah. You proud of yourself with that one?
Wow.
I think it looks like a tooth fell out of your mouth. Wow. So proud.
I think I've heard a grade 6 joke.
So
I'm
proud.
sorry. I'm a child. I know.
So proud.
Sorry, guys.
So proud.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Well, this is an absolute nightmare. French police have arrested 12 suspects after 145 people reported being stabbed with syringes at a music festival in France on Saturday.
Gosh.
Leading to the hospitalization of more than a dozen young women. When authorities responded, multiple girls and women between the ages of 14 and 20 were found to be victims of these syringe attacks. The potentially injected substance, which has not been disclosed, remains under investigation as the Interior Minister awaits the toxicology test results. The 12 suspects were arrested across the country during that festival. I don't know what was going on at this festival, but more than 370 people were detained during the festival on various charges. So that's
what was going on?
Bro, it's not good.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Donald Trump this morning may have just set a record for being the first sitting president to ever drop an F-bomb on live television.
No.
So Trump said yesterday, so this was about the Israel and Iran ceasefire, right? Yeah. So he said that both countries agreed to a complete and total ceasefire, and then it was going to be phased in over 24 hours, with both sides quickly broke. And then this morning, Trump tweeted, Israel, do not drop those bombs. And then before he was getting on his helicopter, he did like a media scrum talking to the press because he had the ceasefire and everybody agreed on it. And then like immediately, both sides just broke it, and Trump is pissed.
They violated it, but Israel violated it too. Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I'd never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because the one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
Wow. That was on live television, bro?
Yeah.
Damn, son.
Yeah. sound like Stone Cold. Jeez, it's crazy.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
A Brampton man was busted with $23 million worth of cocaine in his truck.
Come on, Brampton.
Trying to cross the border.
You idiot.
And
of course, Brampton.
Listen, that happens, right? Yeah, you know, drug runner's going to run drugs, and sometimes you get caught, sometimes you don't. But I'm looking at the picture of this, and I see it all the time. And they have all the cocaine laid out on the table, as they do. They like to show it off, right?
Of course. Look at...
What's your reward?
Look at all my stuff.
Yeah, right. But they don't really do that with any with other things. It's always just guns and drugs, right?
Yeah.
Like,
or sometimes it's like counterfeit, clothing and like accessories and stuff.
But they
right?
rarely show it like this, though, right?
They really put it on display.
Yeah, like if you busted, somebody who was importing, mink coats that they weren't paying the tariff on or whatever it was, right? You don't see the press conference with like the tables and tables of mink.
I know.
Right?
Look at like a whole run through.
Yeah. Like they don't show off other stuff the same way they show off drugs. And I was noticing that the way that they package drugs in real life is very much the way it's packaged in movies.
Where it's like...
like clear plastic bags.
No, like the square bricks. That's all like wrapped in like plastic and stuff.
Yeah.
Then there's that one guy that always just jabs a knife into it, right? To see if it's real.
I don't know, all of a sudden, you start talking about cocaine, my nose start getting itchy.
Hey now.
Because when you see it in the movies, I always used to get not mad, but like curious, because you would always see that guy where, you always had that one heavy in the room who was the one who had the test to make sure that the coke was legit, right?
Yeah.
And he would just take that brick that was so perfectly wrapped and he would just jab his knife into it, break it open, and take some out. But they never resealed that brick. Like, you never see the guy stick the knife in, do the line, and then reach into his pocket and patch up the hole.
Yeah,
well, you can't sell that now. That's for anyone to just, it's a freebie.
No, it's not.
A little bit of duct tape.
Anyway, Brampton man.
Hey, so what do they do with all that coke?
I don't know. It goes, they
Great
destroy
question.
it.
You
They
don't
destroy
flush
it.
You don't flush it or
No,
anything?
you don't flush it. You destroy it. I don't know how they destroy cocaine.
Do they burn it?
I don't know. I literally just said I don't know how they destroy cocaine. But they destroy it. It's not like it'll sit in evidence until trial.
Yeah.
Right?
I know some people who could
but after that, yeah, I've known quite a few people who could destroy it.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Tom Sandoval from, what's that show he was on?
Vanderpump Rules.
Vanderpump Rules.
And The Traitors.
Thank you very much.
He was great on The Traitors.
I guess he's got a band, and I want to play the intro because they auditioned for America's Got Talent. Listen to this. Yeah.
Y'all might know me from a reality TV show called Vanderpump Rules. It was 11 seasons. With being on a reality TV show, it's very much about your personal life. And a couple years ago, I was involved in a scandal, and I was labeled as the most hated man in America by New York Times. I mean, it was really, really rough.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's get America to like you.
He slept with his girlfriend's best friend.
Oh, no wonder nobody liked him then. And that, because of that, he was hated the most.
Do you know how not interested I am in any of that stuff?
Okay, so it was Howie explaining that why he was hated because he slept with his girlfriend's best friend, and then
Sofia Vergara and Simon Cowell.
And then Simon comes in. He's like, "I'm not interested in that at all." So
like
I guess he's got a band. Is he singing in this? Or is he
yeah,
playing?
no, he's singing. It's great.
So this is the Tom Sandoval band doing "Take on Me."
Is that Sandoval singing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just sounds like a cover band, right?
But it's good.
It sounds like a wedding band.
Yeah.
Right?
I'd hire him.
Yeah, because you got low standards, bro.
Yeah. It just sounds like a wedding band, right?
It's okay.
It's karaoke. It's decent karaoke. Yeah. But anyway, they got 4 yeses, so they're going to continue on the show.
Well, they're not going to say no to him. He's good TV.
Sure.
He's not fighting with anyone.
Jesus, Maury's fired up today.
Yeah. Why are you so horny for this guy?
I have no idea.
You still got the mustache?
Yeah.
Is that why?
Yeah.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
With the heat wave yesterday, Go Transit was warning riders to expect heat-related delays as the extreme temperatures were straining train engines and the air conditioning systems, and they said trains without AC were being pulled off service. And they were worried about like the tracks expanding and all this other. It's crazy when it comes to trains in the heat, but that's why everything was delayed yesterday. You were on a Go train yesterday, Maury.
2 of the trains were canceled that I was supposed to go on to Hamilton because of weather issues or whatever. So everyone jammed into one car with no air conditioning. We were like elbow to elbow, shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
People were dripping sweat on me.
Really?
One guy, and I'm not even kidding, one guy stood up when it was his time to leave, and there was a puddle on his seat from like back sweat. It was nasty.
I thought,
so hot.
I thought about that yesterday, Shem, because we have said for so long on this show, and it's been a joke and we goof and whatever, but when it gets really hot out, you take your shirt off to drive in your car. Were you shirtless the last couple of days or no?
Not shirtless, but I did bring an extra shirt.
You did?
I did, yeah.
You didn't drive home with no shirt yesterday?
No. Come on. I have
Give the people what they want.
No. To be honest, the reason I didn't is because I had no paper towel on my back.
Oh, so what do you do?
Embarrassing.
Can you use the paper towel like to sop up afterwards or when you're driving?
So typically what I'll do is I'll put the paper towel, like I'll extend some and I'll put some on the back of my seat.
Oh my God.
And so it doesn't
like
trip on my actual seat. Yeah.
Like you have some sort of like leak?
It's like a back bib.
Yeah.
You know?
Lord have mercy.
But when you get out of the car, does it stick to you?
Sometimes, but I'm always
and then you got to pull it off like a magician with the scarf? Like it just keeps coming off your back?
I mean, you can sound like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Mocha looks disgusted.
Is it because you got a lady? You can't like.
Oh, you mean like have?
Yeah. Like you just like you can't be.
Yeah,
seen,
I don't want those
seen,
problems.
Like, you can't be seen like that.
No. The questions that I would get.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Why is there so much?
But your windows are tinted.
Why is there so much crumpled paper towel in your car, Shem?
Why is it wet, Shem?
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms.
The defense has arrested in the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking trial after delivering a very short presentation with no witnesses before his lawyers began their, it was like a real blink and miss it kind of case today or yesterday. And Puffy himself told the judge in the courtroom that he would not be taking the stand. And then he told the judge he thought he was doing a very good idea. And yes, he had thoroughly thought this out. This is very similar to what Weinstein's lawyers just did with him on that new trial or retrial that's going on in another courtroom in New York, which is a very little defense. They don't think the prosecution, as terrible as all of that stuff was that we learned about Diddy, that he's not denying. Right? Obviously not denying any of it. They just don't think that the prosecution has the case to convict on what he was actually charged with, because he wasn't charged with being a deviant, and he wasn't charged with being abusive, and he wasn't charged with any of that stuff. He was charged for conspiracy and trafficking. Right?
And if they don't have that evidence.
And racketeering. And if they didn't make that case, like they made a very good case that he is an absolute POS.
Yeah.
Like legendary all-time
perv to the max,
terrible person.
Yeah.
But did they make the racketeering and trafficking case? And obviously they don't think they did.
So
at
if they
all.
didn't, does he get released?
If he's found not guilty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Like, are there other charges that can?
No,
that
he
can
walks
come
out
from
of
this?
there. Somebody can charge him with something else.
Yeah.
But these were the big ones, right?
It really depends on what the instructions the judge gives the jury, right? In this case, because he could be found guilty of something lesser than what he was charged with and still spend time in jail. Just not as much as I don't think he's going to spend a lot. Personally.
Yeah, but what's the lesser charge on trafficking and racketeering? Like there's
that part I don't know.
Yeah, because he's not charged with any of the sex stuff, right? Like that's all the terrible things that people testified that he did, right? Which you were like, God, how can one person get away with that? None of those were chargeable, right? Like the testimony.
They weren't like the part of the trial.
That's not what he is. He wasn't on trial for, beating people.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's not what he was on trial for. And so they obviously don't think that the prosecution has it at all. They put up no defense.
Sorry, when did they do this? When did the
Yesterday.
ruling? No, when's the ruling?
Oh, that I don't know.
Oh, okay.
That
okay,
I don't
okay,
know.
okay.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
that's incredible.
That I don't know. But crazy.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
This was wild. Taylor Swift made like a wild return to the stage last night.
What?
At a bar.
She's not on tour anywhere.
At a bar called Brooklyn Bowl in Nashville. So Taylor was there. Travis Kelce hosted this charity event, right?
Uh-huh.
And she was there, and there was a band performing called Tight Ends and Friends.
Hey.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And
it's a great band name.
And they had a bunch of people that were there. Like there was a bunch of artists that were there. It was a small venue. It's 1,200 people, right?
Okay.
It was like a charity event, and there was a bunch of artists that were there, and it was all planned. But I guess at the last minute, they got Taylor to come up and do a couple songs.
To play. And these are the tight ends.
Good for her.
Can you stop for 1 second? Stop for 1 second. This is what it's like, Taylor Swift in a room with 1,200 people in it. You literally hear Taylor Swift say the first line of the song, and after that, all you're listening to is fans.
Uh-huh. Because everybody knows every single song.
Can you go back to the beginning? It's like I have to hear that Taylor Swift is actually singing this because she sings one line and then it's only girls. Taylor. No more Taylor.
Yeah, right here.
No more Taylor.
Now, do you think, was it advertised that she was going to be
No,
there?
not at all. Not at all. I
Or
mean, it was Travis Kelce's thing.
So maybe people assumed, fans assumed.
Nobody assumed.
Oh, okay.
Nobody assumed because they had been out doing this. Like they did a red carpet the other night and everything else. And then when she finished her set, she was like, "We literally came up with this 3 minutes ago."
Wow.
Right? Like it was not because they had artists that were ready to perform,
And
like it wasn't her guitar. Right?
Oh,
it was. All right, Caroline, listen, move the phone a little closer to Taylor. But yeah, and it wasn't her guitar.
So
right, she wore on stage what she wore to the gala,
and it just so happens that band knew how to play that song.
Bro, it's a house band in Nashville.
Oh yeah, okay, sure, yeah, they played that song enough times already.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, it's kind of cool though, right?
Yeah.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Where are we here? Oh, I found this list really quick. Somebody asked on social meatball. Somebody asked on social media.
I follow that.
What do people in other parts of the world use instead of Mississippi? So 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi.
That's a great question.
The Danes say in Danish, one guy said, we say 1 case of beer, 2 case of beer, 3 case of beer. In Scotland, they say 1 elephant, 2 elephant. I remember this one when I was a kid, when I was living in Quebec, which is it was 1 hippopotamus, 2 hippopotamus.
Never heard
3
of those.
You never heard hippopotamus?
Any of these other ones outside of Mississippi.
What about steamboats? You never heard 1 steamboat, 2 steamboat, 3 steamboat?
I know Ricky Steamboat.
You never heard steamboats? You never heard steamboats?
The only steamboat I know is Ricky Steamboat.
But pause for a second. When somebody was counting, you never said, "I'll give you 3 steamboats"?
No.
No?
I know Mississippi.
You know Mississippi, but you never knew steamboat?
No.
Really? Because steamboat was a popular one.
Totally.
In China, apparently they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, which to me is very confusing. No. You have to be really smart. In Brazil, they say something in Portuguese, which translates to 1 indigenous toddler, 2 indigenous toddlers, 3 indigenous toddlers. I don't know. Okay.
I'd confuse that up. Well.
In India, apparently they say 1 tick, 2 tick, 3 tick.
Oh, my gosh.
And in Australia, somebody had said...
1 crikey, 2 crikey, 3 crikey.
You're very close. They say 1 cat and dog, 2 cat and dog, 3 cat and dog. I'm still blown away that you don't know Mississippi's or steamboats.
No, I don't.
You don't know steamboats.
I only know Mississippi. Count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
I know,
3
but
Mississippi.
that was the universal, right? Mississippi was the universal, but you never knew steamboat or hippopotamus.
No,
really, huh?
Not at all.
Wow, Shem,
I've definitely heard steamboat before.
You have
definitely, and hippopotamus actually.
And hippopotamus.
Yep.
David Morey?
I mean, I've been given 3 steamboats.
What the hell does that mean?
I don't know. I was just trying to be funny.
It's not, though.
I feel like that's dirty.
I asked you a question.
No, I've never heard of the steam.
Okay, never mind. Jesus.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
After the U.S. hit 3 Iranian nuclear facilities, Donald Trump declared that Tehran's nuclear program had been, quote, completely obliterated. But that may not be the case. A preliminary U.S. intelligence assessment suggests that the American strikes on Iran, quote, failed to destroy its underground facilities. Officials who reviewed the classified report concluded that while the entrances to 2 nuclear sites were sealed off, the underground buildings themselves remained intact. The report also estimated that the strikes delayed Iran's ability to build a nuke by less than 6 months. So the White House dismissed these alleged assessments and called them, quote, flat out wrong. And Donald Trump took to Truth Social to say fake news CNN, together with the failing New York Times, have teamed up in an attempt to demean one of the most successful military strikes in history. The nuclear sites in Iran are completely destroyed. Both the Times and CNN are getting slammed by the public, is what he had to say. So who knows? Either they took them all out or they set them back weeks. That's a big sort of difference in the effectiveness of the strikes. And I will say that whole mission was incredible. Did you read about that?
No.
Bro, they took off from Missouri.
Oh, for real?
It was 18 hours away.
Yeah. It was like a 38-hour there and back kind of thing, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and they had multiple crews in the B-2 bombers where I guess they slept. And it was a straight flight there, and they dropped bombs, and then they flew right and then they flew right back home. These weren't on some military base in the Middle East somewhere. These were in Middle America, and they piloted up and flew across, dropped, and then flew back without anyone knowing. It was an incredible mission when you actually sort of get into it, but whether it was successful or not, that's up for debate right now.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I got to read you this headline because the Brits have a way of sensationalizing a headline, and then when you actually listen to the clip, you're like, whoa, wow, wait a second. So Brad Pitt did Dax Shepard's podcast, The Armchair Expert, and there was a lot in there. We played a lot of stuff yesterday, him talking about going to AA meetings and getting sober, and it was really great. But let me read you this headline. Brad Pitt dishes on gay experience in most candid interview ever. Brad Pitt dishes on gay experience in most candid interview ever. Now listen to this.
Given the way you and I met, does it make you nervous?
Sexually, you mean?
Of course.
Well,
he wishes.
That's hopefully where it ends.
I've never had a gay experience. I kind of missed that window. But if I did,
yeah,
it wouldn't be you.
Oh, man, you had me. I was like, wow, he's going to say
I
it.
was like, Dax is
Maybe
going
14th.
to die tonight.
14th or 15th. I don't want to brag, but you're going to need to build up to me. I do recommend you start with some starters.
Wait, so he clearly said it there. I've never had.
No, it's two guys goofing on each other making gay jokes. It's
But
not Brad Pitt dishes on, quote, gay experience in most candid interview
But he
ever.
also says, like right here.
You know, I've.
Oh, hold on. He says, "I've never had." Right? Listen.
Where it ends.
You know, I've never had a gay experience. I kind of missed that window.
Yeah.
Like he says it right there.
Yeah. But he does dish on, quote, gay experience. He just says he never had one. This was just two straight dudes making gay jokes to each other,
I
right?
fell for the headline yesterday. I'll tell you that. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And it was nothing. That's why it's like you watch this, you're like, this is not about a gay experience. It's exactly what you said. Like two straight friends talking about gay.
Yeah, just making gay jokes. Like even when he said a gay experience, it had nothing to do with anything. All he wanted to do was the punchline was that it wasn't with Dax.
Yeah.
Right? Like he wasn't legitimately talking about anything. Anyway.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
What happened to Big Balls? That's the question.
Excuse me?
Great segue.
Remember when Doge and Elon Musk came in and they were auditing everything that the U.S. was spending, and then it was known that one of the people on Elon Musk's team was this kid who online went by the name Big Balls.
These nuts.
And then all the news media had a field day with the fact that all of this private information and accounting and auditing was under the guidance of a kid called Big Balls.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with Musk and Big Balls.
Big balls.
Big balls.
Big Balls, who work for Elon Musk's so-called Department of Government Efficiency, Doge.
In the one case of the Big Balls kid, a literal teenager.
Big Balls online, Big Balls here, that Katie's talking about. A 19-year-old that goes by the username Big Balls. So that would be one way that we could refer to him.
Young computer whizzes, the aforementioned Big Balls.
Because who among us doesn't feel better about Big Balls, Big Balls, Big Balls in charge of American air traffic control?
So Edward Big Balls Korestein, one of the technologists hired as part of Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, is now no longer working for the federal government. They say Edward Korestein resigned yesterday.
No.
This was a White House official telling Wired. He received full-time employment status late last month, so I don't know what happened between last month and now. According to Wired, he was one of a small group of technologists who were highly trusted within the Department of Government Efficiency and deployed across multiple federal agencies. And I guess the thing is that because of the work that they had to do, each task that they had, came with a different laptop depending on what department you were working at. So the joke was with all these guys on Doge was how many laptops they could get. And some people were carrying around with them at all times up to 8.
8 laptops?
8 laptops, because each laptop was for a different file with different security measures with different access. So
imagine all the logins you have to learn.
Yes, exactly. So depending on how busy you were and how trusted you were, you wound up getting more laptops, and it was a status sort of symbol within that community that the more laptops you had, the better off you were within the organization. And they were walking around like it would be like library books, like
that's ridiculous.
8 laptops deep. But anyway, Big Balls no longer part of the Department of Government Efficiency.
What are you going to do now?
I don't know.
Hang around, I guess.
Yeah, R.I.P. Big Balls, right?
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Where are we here? Are you a fan of James Bond at all, Mocha?
James Bond. Shaken, not stirred.
Are you a fan of any of the movies?
I think everyone is.
No, I think people are fans. I mean, obviously, there's 26 of them.
26 movies?
Yeah, I think they're going into the 26. But I've never met anyone whose favorite movie was a James Bond movie.
I don't even think I've seen a James Bond movie.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Not even by accident, like on a plane?
Nope.
So anyway, Denis Villeneuve is going to direct the next James Bond movie.
Where do I know that name?
Dune. He directed Dune.
Oh, okay.
He directed that Alien Landing movie. He's a great director. Academy Award nominations, like all this other stuff. He said, I grew up watching James Bond films with my father ever since Dr. No with Sean Connery. I'm a diehard Bond fan. To me, it's sacred territory. I intend to honor the tradition and open the path for many new missions to come. This is a massive responsibility, but also incredibly exciting for me and a huge honor. Currently, right now, they are prepping for Dune 3, which is scheduled to shoot this summer. It's unclear when Bond is even going to go into production, because right now they're looking for a screenwriter
and Bond. They don't have a Bond.
Yet? No, they don't have a Bond yet. So they'll do that. This, of course, is the first Bond after Amazon bought the franchise for $8.45 billion. Whoa, $billion.
Bond. James Bond.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Sources tell TMZ that Orlando Bloom and Katy Perry have officially split.
No.
And that, yep. So they say Katy and Orlando have split, but are amicable. It's not contentious at the moment. Katy is, of course, upset, but relieved to not have to go through another divorce because they were just engaged. They weren't actually married. They met in 2016 and then I guess split for a bit in 2017, got back together in 2018, got engaged in 2019. They got a 5-year-old daughter, Daisy, together. And,
she's 5 already?
She's 5. And Orlando this weekend is off to the Jeff Bezos wedding. So he's going to the wedding as a single man.
Wow.
And somebody had said that he is, in these situations, the life of the party.
So he's in his prime.
He is. Thank you, Maura. Yes. Somebody else has said that he'll be hoping to maybe sneak off with Leonardo DiCaprio for some bar crawling.
Oh, my God.
That's dangerous.
Join the posse, if you know what that means. Katy is not attending the wedding. She was never going to because she is still currently on tour. So there you go.
I forgot that Katy was married before to Russell Brand.
Yeah, for a long time. Yeah, didn't work out, though.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Aaron Sorkin is writing and directing a follow-up to The Social Network.
Did we want that?
What?
So remember The Social Network, the Facebook movie?
Never watched it.
With it's really good. It's really good.
It's about Facebook.
Yeah, but it's really good.
Yeah. Timberlake's in it.
Jesse Eisenberg's in it. Yeah, Timberlake's in it. But what made that movie so great were two things. One, the screenplay was good that Sorkin did, but it was a David Fincher movie, for one. And Trent Reznor did all the music for it. Like, the whole movie was a vibe, and that's what made it so good. But this will focus on the Wall Street Journal's a series of articles called Facebook Files, which exposed how Facebook had done irreparable damage to minors and spread misinformation worldwide. Despite the titling, they say that it is not a straight sequel. Instead, it's more of a follow-up to the original movie. Which, isn't that a sequel? The specific story will focus on the 2020 election and Facebook's effects on teenagers, violence, and the world. While Deadline sources claim that this is not a January 6th film, others have said that that is exactly what it is and will be the heavy focus of Facebook 2, I guess.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I know you got a lot of love for this guy, but to me, there's just something off about him, which is Steve from Blue's Clues.
Oh my God, my kid loved Blue's Clues when he was younger.
I know. But now that he's doing this adult thing, right? Like he's trying to, because remember during the pandemic, Steve from Blue's Clues came out and he was like, and he did a thing of where he just checked in on people.
Yeah.
And everybody got this hit of nostalgia and, they just like sort of loved it because it made them feel, comforted and everything else. Now he's launching a podcast, right? But there's something about the way the man talks, what he says, how he presents himself, what he's selling. I'm sorry, I just don't buy it.
It's basically a societal requirement at this point that everyone has a podcast. So why don't we have one? You and I. It could basically be what we've always done. You and I have always been about this deep and curious investigation of our world in search of these little bits of information that lead to greater understanding. Sounds like a podcast to me. I mean, it used to be about shapes and colors and letters and numbers and vegetables and stuff, but now it could really be about everything that makes it so weird and wonderful to be alive.
I'm excited. I am.
I'm excited.
I don't know, man.
I know what it is.
What is it, Shem?
He's putting on his Maury sexy voice.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds
I was going to say he sounds boring, and then you said that.
Listen to the first part of that clip.
I know. I just think that he's like really trying to capitalize on this kind of like I don't know.
Do you think he's bored?
Faux life coachy. I'm here with you. Like there's something about like to me it seems like a grift. Right? Like, to me, it seems like he's dining out on the love and nostalgia that people had for him. Mm-hmm. And now he's trying to, like,
feed into their
manipulate.
grief and...
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It doesn't seem
basically
genuine
a societal requirement at this point that everyone has a podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a monster. Maybe I'm a monster.
Listen,
I don't know.
No. I like the guy, and I understand what he was doing on Instagram and TikTok and whatever, and it worked there. Yeah. I don't know if this podcast, I hope it does well for him, and I'm sure his intentions are good. But, man, dude, like, I don't know. I don't mind seeing you pop up as a guest, on episodes of Blue's Clues with Josh right now.
Yeah.
And whoever else is the new person that's going to be taking over. But I don't know about the podcast. I'll listen. I'll give it a shot. I'll listen to episode 1.
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot, but I don't know if this is going to be for me.
To me, there's a lack of sort of like honesty to it, even though he's
not
trying.
Genuine.
Yeah. I think that's what it is.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
The Jeff Bezos and Laura Sanchez wedding is underway
right now.
They're getting to it.
Amazon's choice.
The 3-day affair is shrouded in mystery, apparently. Even their A-list guests are being kept in the dark about the locations and activities. And there was no dress code. However, all the big names were sent mood boards.
No, they weren't.
To use as inspiration. So they're not given any information as far as locations or what they're even doing. Instead, they're just told a time and place to be for the water taxis to pick them up. Big guests are Ivanka Trump, Bill Gates, Oprah, Gayle King, Leonardo DiCaprio, Adele, Kim Kardashian, a lot of celebs. Now, the average sort of price, like the price range for a normal civilian wedding, right? You're looking at per plate, right? $100 to like $250 kind of high end, right? For a normal civilian wedding. Jeff Bezos is spending $10 million on their wedding.
Oh, my God.
There's 200 guests, which means that their per plate budget per guest is $50,000.
Oh, my God.
So what do you even give him as a gift?
Do you give a gift if you're going to a Jeff Bezos wedding? Like, he has everything.
I assume you do. Like, if you're Oprah and you're going to Jeff Bezos' wedding, you got to give a gift.
What do you give? Like a vacation?
I don't know. What do
you give a billionaire?
Yeah, I don't know. Something like, I think it would have to be something heartfelt or like
homemade?
No, like no, I'm not necessarily thinking Oprah's sitting there decoupaging. But something like something like as if he's like a baseball fan, like a piece of memorabilia, like something like that. Like it has to be, I think, heartfelt and personal, but not homemade, if that makes sense at all. I don't know if it's
the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
NBA draft last night. Here's how the number 1 overall pick went down.
With the first pick in the 2025 NBA draft, the Dallas Mavericks select Cooper Flagg from Duke University.
It's a badass name, huh? Cooper Flagg?
Yeah,
fire. It doesn't do anything, this Dallas getting that number 1 pick, for the conspiracy theory that the NBA leans on teams with superstars to feed the LA Lakers. And then if they give up their big stars to go to LA, they're then rewarded with number 1 picks. There's some evidence that points in that direction.
Is that what everyone was saying?
That's because this isn't the first time it's happened.
Because after Luka dipped,
yeah, and even not even through trade, but even after LeBron left Cleveland,
they got the number 1 pick,
and they had like number 1 and then the number 3, right? Yeah. So that's the conspiracy theory. Anyway, now to the drama. Colin Murray Boyles, he is the kid from South Carolina, like 6'6", a stud. Everybody seems to like this guy. He was the Raptors' first-round pick. Here's that.
With the 9th pick in the 2025 NBA draft, the Toronto Raptors select Colin Murray Boyles from the University of South Carolina.
Okay. So he went number 9, round 1. Some people had him that high. Some people had him the 12 to 16 range. But when they said his name, he stood up, put his head down and shook it, and then looked like he said the F word.
No!
Right?
He don't want to go to the Raptors?
And then he hugged his mom, and his girlfriend was there. And so everybody started going in on him, right? When I saw it, to me, it looked like he put his head down and shook his head and said, finally. But I don't know if that's what it said. It looked
finally is a
bit,
longer word than
it looked
the
a little more like F, but the way I'm going to play you some audio here. You tell me if you think that he's speaking from the heart here. So after that, as soon as he put his head down, shook it a couple times, said the F word, hugged his mom, everybody on social media started going in on him, being like, yo, you don't want to be here, we don't want you here, like doing all that stuff. So here he is in his first interview with NBA TV.
I know that in these moments, there's always so much going on. Want to give you a chance to explain your reaction in the moment.
Oh, WTF for sure. WTF all the way till my name got called. Man, it was crazy. But geez, I almost shed a tear. But I try to keep my composure. But it's surreal. Like I dreamed of this when I was a kid. Like, you never know you're going to be there till you're there, for real. So it's crazy.
So it seems to me that he's describing it as more like just a relief.
Yeah, like,
right?
Finally. But not the F word.
More just like a relief. Like he said the F word, but it was just like everything, all the anxiety, everything.
Now it's all gone.
Now
it's just because now he knows his future.
Gone. Right. And then so here he is talking to a Raptors media afterwards.
What I said was not a bad thing by any means. Just very thankful for it. That was like a surreal moment, like to hear my name called and by this organization that has a good history and have really good players as of right now. It was just a crazy moment. Obviously thankful for the opportunity that they give me. And taking it full on, I'm ready to do whatever it needs or whatever they need me to do.
And then the Raptors posted a picture of him in front of a Raptors hat, and all they wrote was, "See, guys, he's happy."
For real? That's what they wrote?
Yeah. Listen, I get it now that after listening to him explain it, because even when the Raptors TV interviewer talked to him about it, he didn't in his mind even think it was anything wrong that he had to explain, right?
At all. I think he probably looked at his phone, saw the reaction, and was like,
But I don't even think in that moment he understood that people were sort of going in on him thinking that he didn't want to go, right? Like, totally. So anyway, I'm reading a ton about this kid. He's a stud. Like, people are thinking the Raptors got a really, really, really great ball player out of him.
Good for you, young man.
Yeah, 6'6", young, building that team. It's going to be good.
Yo, it's like my twin.
What's that?
So what?
Yeah.
You just described my life.
I know. It's a good thing he's not here. I might mix the two of you up. Right?
Thanks for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Catch the guys live
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10
on Kiss 92.5.
KISS925.com.
Or download the Kiss 92.5 app.